we want to start off by addressing really tragic news in this community that happened yesterday. Independent progressive news lost one of its brightest stars, Michael Brooks, tragically passing away. Very young, younger than me, and I found out about it much the same way many of the people watching this video might. It's you just load Twitter and you get people's reactions to something, and then you have to do like the brief bit of detective work to figure out what exactly it is that happened. And you hope that you're imagining wrong. The first couple of things you see that maybe confirm what you think it is, you hope that this surely some sort of joke, some sort of prank or something like that. I saw a tweet from some of his coworkers at the Majority Report, and I was just shocked. I thought this has got to be an extremely inappropriate prank that is being played, but it was not. He passed away apparently quite suddenly. I've heard different takes on exactly what it was, but regardless of what it was, it's an absolute tragedy. And ever since then, the people who knew him, and many of them who knew him much better than I did, have been giving their reactions to it, and we're gonna have some of that. But I just wanted to give my brief take. I didn't know Michael nearly as well as some other people in this community. We only began sort of talking and collaborating together maybe a year or two ago. But I had him on the show several times, and he had me on his, and I just always had a very good impression of him. He was what you like sort of want out of this. It's someone who knows things, who cares about knowing things, understanding the history of what they're talking about and the context of what they're talking about, and not just specifically to the United States. I think it might have been Nando Vila who said he knows more about the politics of Ecuador than any CNN contributor knows about the politics of America. Like he really did approach this thing like I think we should, like I think a lot of people think that we should, that we have these national boundaries, and they're significant in some ways, legal ways and things like that, but they're not significant in the most important ways. We are a community of people, and he cared about making sure that poor and working class people inside and outside of the United States were no longer crushed under the collective oppressive weight of our government and virtually every other world government that doesn't give a damn about them and never has. And he did it all with a sense of humor. He was able to take very difficult news and not be crushed by it. And that's difficult, like for everybody. So I apologize. One of the things that I wanted to say about him is not just, that he had a very strong impact on some of the people in this industry that I care most about. Like, I know Anna has got to be just devastated. But being in this industry, like whatever this is, independent, leftist media, the YouTube thing, podcasts, whatever, there's a lot of people who have gotten into this over the years as it's become this bigger thing. And that is great and very important. And I hope that there's far more. But in my experience, there have not been as many people as I would wish that are in it for all of the right reasons. There's people who get it in for, clout chasing and fame and money and whatever. It's the grift that we rail against on the show all the time. And the thing is that I would count Michael high up amongst the small number of people that, whether I'm working with them or not, like even if theoretically we're in competition with each other, I'm just glad that there are other people out there that actually care, that are doing this not because like they don't want to get a job, but because they think that this is the best way that they can make the world a better place. I talk often when I have Emma on that I feel that she's one of those people, the people who there has had opportunities to take the easy road to, crowdfunding and more subscribers and things like that looks out there and says, I know what the audience wants me to say, but I'm not going to say it just because of that if I don't believe it. And Michael was that sort of person. He was honest even when it would hurt his success. And I'm sure that if you're watching this, you've probably seen any number of the different tributes, one of which is going on live now on the Majority Report. I know, Ben Dixon, who we just had on the show, said that Michael gave him a platform back when he had like 2,000 YouTube subscribers. Like nobody was paying attention to him. And he was a helpful person. He never, as his show started to blow up, he never like cast off the people, that had helped him along the way. He was just genuine and kind and intelligent, just deeply, deeply invested mentally in terms of wanting to know what is going on and wanting to have a sound, intellectual and philosophical, and in some ways even spiritual, to hear him say it, framework for how we go forward from here. And so, yeah. It's unimaginable, as so much news in 2020 is. How could that have happened yesterday? Anyway, Adrienne, I apologize. Try to keep it together. It's just, it's difficult because it's not just what he means to me. And again, like I've said many times, there are people that my heart goes out to them because I know that they had, much deeper, long-standing relationships with him. It's like, when you say someone's going to be missed, like you can mean that the people that knew them will miss them, but then you can also mean their absence will be missed even by people who didn't know.
Yes. And I definitely get that vibe from everything I've read about Michael Brooks, and especially yesterday, just seeing Twitter blow up, and you can really see the impact that he had on so many people. And unfortunately, I did not have the good fortune to get to know him, but my God, from reading everyone's comments and their heartfelt just mourning on social media yesterday, I missed out on an opportunity to know someone who just seems so absolutely incredible.
Yeah. I want to read just one bit. This is from, I believe this is direct from Sam Seder, who, worked with Michael longer than basically anyone. Had this to say: I've worked with a lot of broadcast hosts and some of the most talented comedians in the country, and what was unique about Michael was not just his intelligence and insight into politics, particularly foreign politics, but his ability to do genuinely brilliant political comedy. I need less than one hand to count how many people I've come across who had Michael's skill in crafting a funny impression or character that was not only a vehicle for political satire, but satirical in its essence. It was an amazing and genuinely unique talent that made coming into work each day for me fun. And so feel terrible for everyone that worked with him at Majority Report and the expanded network around that. It's a massive loss that nobody could have seen coming. It's like there's so many people out there that are like doing so well that there's nothing in them. They make millions of dollars every night on Fox News, and they're doing great in this time. And Anyway, he's gonna be missed in all of the senses that we talked about. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.